What's going on, everyone? Today, I'm going to be answering some personal questions that I've never seen before. I don't know how this is going to go. Maybe a lot of it get cut. We don't know. Let's go. What is something a 20-year-old now might not realize will affect them in the future? I'm going to try and answer this without it being an hour long. I worry about people who are 20-something years old being on the internet and feeling like they have to be something, just to garner some sort of attention or validation from the world. Because I think that if you do that for enough years, then you have no idea who you are anymore, because you are just something that has been created by comments. All of your behaviors, the things that you like, are now just to appease comments and likes and things that just are not actual people. So I worry that people will just get to a point in their lives where, like, I don't know who the hell I am because I've been trying to, just be good enough for the internet for so long. And the internet, you're never good enough for the internet. They will chew you up and spit you out at every turn. So I just worry that people, not just for 20-something-year-olds, but for anybody who uses the internet or does some sort of performance or something, I worry that they forget who they are, because that would be a very terrifying thing to discover when you're in your 30s. If you're going to be on the internet and you're going to have a social media account and whatnot, you really have to be as authentic as you possibly can. And I know that's near impossible these days, but just know that this will affect you detrimentally if you're not careful. What's a belief you have that a lot of people disagree with? I don't know if a lot of people have this belief, but I do see it a lot. And I think that going to college is a complete waste of time. I don't necessarily agree with that at all. And I also don't think everyone is an entrepreneur. And I don't think that everyone should be like trying to start a business at 16 or any of that stuff. I feel like now a lot of the content that comes out on the internet, everyone is like putting this in your head of like, start younger. I even seen this one kid who's like literally 12 years old, and he's giving like financial advice. He's like, when you go to a restaurant, you should think about, how am I going to own this restaurant? And it's like, you're 12, dude. Like, you're not your job. Like, you're an actual person. So you don't have to be 12 years old thinking about these things. I don't think that you should even have that figured out at 18. Like, I think you should enjoy your life. The only reason why we should be working so hard at our jobs is so you can use the benefits from your job to live your life. But if your entire life is focused on like, I need $400 billion, like, what kind of quality of life is that? I think that it's okay to go to school and get a normal job and work a 9 to 5 and enjoy your life and be a regular person. I don't think everyone needs to be a fucking supermodel or like, own some fucking company and sell a bunch of courses about how everyone should be doing more and drive a Lamborghini. Like, you don't need to do that. But I can sympathize with, feeling like all I see on the internet is people and they have all this money, and some fucking guy is telling me that making $400,000 a month is not enough. Like, what the fuck? I'm not making anywhere close to that. It's okay to be a normal person and have a decent job and live a happy life. All anyone's trying to do is live a happy life. And if someone is happier and they're making $50,000 a year, jealous. That's all we're trying to do, is be happy. Who the fuck? People just want to collect money for what? They're billionaires who are still working 60 hours a week. For what? What are you doing that for? They have no idea. They have no idea why they're doing it. Like, that's crazy to me. That's crazy that you would have that much money and feel like, I'm still going to spend time away from my family and work my ass off to make more. For what? What's the reason? Like, enjoy your fucking life. What is your biggest weakness or flaw? I don't even know if this is the right answer. I'm just going to start talking, but I feel like I am my own biggest weakness, because I think when I'm locked in, I'm really good, but I also can just kind of get myself out of that by thinking about too much. And maybe that's the weakness, is that I have trouble focusing on the task at hand sometimes. And I try to think about how this is affecting everything and everyone around me, and then I kind of like talk myself out of it, and then I get to this point of like, I don't have to fucking do anything, so I just won't do it, and then it's like a constant battle of like, yeah, I want to do this thing, but like now I'm worrying about everyone, and I shouldn't be worrying too much about it. Now I'm overthinking it. Fuck it, I won't do it. And like, this is where I do this to myself. So I think that like maybe overthinking is the right answer. Maybe, I have no idea. It's hard for me to even answer that, to be honest. I think for a long time, my biggest flaw was that I didn't really work very hard, especially in the beginning of my YouTube career. I felt like I was making a video a week. And because I knew that I could make a video on Tuesday, I would wake up on Tuesdays, not have an idea, think of one, record it and edit it and put it out that night. And I just did that for years. And then I was getting all these followers, and then I was making really good money. And that's when I started to go insane, because I was like, I'm not even trying hard. I'm not even doing anything. And then doing that for so many years has an effect. This goes back to the last question, honestly, because now it's like, I don't even have a work ethic. I don't even deserve this. So then that's when you go nuts and you're like, I work one day a week and I'm relying on the fact that I'm somewhat talented at putting out YouTube videos and people enjoy these. So I'm going to do the least amount of work as possible and then put it out and then act like I deserve the glory. So what's a piece of advice or lesson that changed you? I don't know if there's this piece of advice that I've ever gotten. Maybe there is, and I'm just not remembering right now. But I think more than anything, I've had a lot of lessons change me, especially at a young age. I think that I was a very arrogant kid of I'm just going to figure out myself. I'll be okay. And then just getting your ass whooped. Not that I've fought off a bunch of people either, but putting effort into something and then having other people go, this sucks, is actually great. And it's one of my favorite things, because I think that's when success begins, I think. Because like I was just saying, I wasn't working very hard, but I was getting a lot of glory. And you can tell yourself that you work hard. You could pretend like you have a hard job or that you deserve all this success, and you're actually, you're living up to your true potential. But you're not, because you're working one day a week and you're not really doing that. So when you then try to do something else, you put that amount of effort into this thing that requires way more, and then you suck at it. That changes you, because you go, oh, okay, yeah, no, I am pathetic. And then you have to, you either just go back to being in your comfort zone and being like, okay, I'm just going to continue doing, the bare minimum and just getting the glory, or I actually want to feel like I'm making an impact in some sort of way. And I've had that happen a couple of times in my life, where I've had that lesson where, now that lesson has kind of carried me throughout my late 20s and early 30s of you never have it figured out. You always have more time. I never think that I'm working as hard as I possibly could be working. I could always be adding more and doing more. And that's the reality of this situation. You could always be doing more. You could always be working harder no matter what. So if something is going wrong and something is not right in my life and I need more, it's because of me. And there's comfort in knowing that you're at fault for everything, because it makes you feel like you're in control. And I'm sort of a control freak. As soon as you start blaming everyone else and you start blaming other people for, other things, it feels like it's out of your control. Now you have to wait around for life to happen. But if everything is your fault, I'm in control. I can make it happen. I keep blaming myself, and then I fix those problems. So when I eventually do become successful, I can take all the credit. I did that thing, and that makes me feel very proud, and that makes me feel like I can do the next thing now. I don't even know if that answered the fucking question, to be honest with you. What motivates you more than money? Everything. Money is not a huge motivator for me at all, and I know that now people are probably like, yeah, of course you could fucking say that because you've already made, your money, and, it's not a priority. But I can honestly say my entire life it's never been a priority, and it's not because I come from money at all. I think my dad has given me a total of $16 in my entire life. Even from a young age, I was always just like this weird dreamer kid. I had all these little ideas that I wanted to do, and that was just exciting to me. Like just having an idea and then making it happen, and then making like an actual thing you can hold just from an idea was such an exciting thing from such a young age. And I told my parents that I wanted to do like YouTube videos and this and that before I made any sort of money. I told them like, yo, 12,000 subscribers, that's when you make the big bucks, which is not true at all. But if I could do this job and I never made $100,000 in a year, I would still do it. I would still do it. And maybe then I would have done it. Maybe at a certain point in my mid-20s, I would feel like I want more, and maybe I would have pivoted and done something else. But definitely at that time when I started doing YouTube videos, I would have done it no matter what. I was like, I don't give a fuck if I make $100,000. I get to make videos and make people laugh and do whatever for whatever they're willing to give me. was cool with me. I think more than anything, my biggest motivator is just the freedom that comes with owning your own thing. I like being in a position where I can adapt or adjust if I need to, because nothing is more important to me than my family and my friends. So if someone needed me, I just want to go do that. And even when I was working a regular job, I was such a bad employee because I would be at the park playing basketball and it would just be a nice day out and the run was really good. So I'd be like, fuck that, I'm calling out. Like, I didn't care about money even then when I had $0. I'd be like, I don't give a fuck, like, fire. Like, I was like, I don't care if I get fired. I would rather be here enjoying my life playing basketball with my friends right now. So fuck that. I would call them like, oh yeah, my grandma's sick. And that was it. I used to do that all the time. My boss hated me. So I enjoy this job so much because it allows me to just like try to be funny and creative and whatever. And it also provides for me as well. And that more than anything is the biggest luxury in life. I think the freedom to enjoy your life is all we're trying to do. I mean, that's why everyone works jobs. It's like you're making money so that you could afford to actually live your life. And if you could find a way to live your life while doing your job, that's like the best of both worlds, which is what I've been able to do, which is incredible. And I'm so thankful for that. But I feel like I felt that feeling so much that it would have been, the best thing or the worst thing for me, because I think this could have gone very differently had it all not aligned. So yeah, I could have been just a fucking low life. So, but I probably would have been a little happy and I probably would have had a better jump shot than I do now, because once the YouTube video started picking up, I started spending more time in the basement. But, what can you do? All right, before we move forward with this video, we do have a sponsor for today, and that is Rocket Money. Rocket Money is going to put money back in your pocket. How are they going to do that? Great question. It is an all-in-one personal finance app that is going to help you find and cancel unwanted subscriptions. It's going to help you budget with their budgeting tool and could possibly help you lower your bills every month. When I use Rocket Money, I know that the best way that I get my bang for my buck is with the unwanted subscriptions, okay? Because there's a lot of times in the past that I have signed up for things, or, there was a free trial that all of a sudden it starts kicking in and now I'm paying $20 a month for that, but I don't even notice that I'm paying that. So I've already given away hundreds of dollars to this company that I don't even use anymore. So it's nice. With Rocket Money, you find that and you go, oh my God, I can't believe I did that. And you're able to cancel it, put the money back in your pocket, okay? And I'm not the only one who's irresponsible. We've all done that, all right? And I know that because they have over 5 million members, and on average, they are saving $740 a year. So it's not just me, okay? We all make mistakes. And you can try it for free at rocketmoney.com/Joe, and you can unlock a bunch of good features with the premium. So go unlock the premium, go to rocketmoney.com/Joe to try it out, and put the money back in your pocket, folks, okay? rocketmoney.com/Joe. Go now. How do you handle criticism? I feel like I'm very good at handling criticism because I do an insane amount of self-reflection and being honest with myself, to the point where I feel like I know who I am, and especially people who are on the internet don't know who I am. And that's the reality of the situation. Even I talk candidly in videos, and I'm not like performing like crazily to the point where these are not my opinions, I'm just saying them because it's a character. Like, that's not the case. But you don't know me as a person. I know me very well. So when people have criticisms towards me, I like to read them and just take them in. I feel like I'm very good at reading something, and then if it moves me, then it must be true. If something really bothers me, if I read it and it really bothers me, there has to be something in there, because especially now at this point, I've been on the internet for over a decade. So I've read it all, and I've seen things, and I've seen that things that people have said about me and have speculated or guessed about me, and a lot of it is hurtful, but a lot of it is like based on nothing, and so it doesn't really move me, it doesn't really hurt me at all. It's just kind of like people are just saying things, like, and of course they will say stuff because they don't know, they're just guessing, or they're basing it on how a different person was, and they're like, oh, these situations or this whatever is sort of similar, so I'm just going to assume everyone handled it like the last person who I thought handled it. So I don't really blame people for doing that, but I have a good relationship with myself that I could read something and just be like, oh, that's not even close to, that's nothing. If I do read something and it sort of moves me a little bit of like, ooh, damn, or I didn't know I was coming off that way or whatever, then I, take note of that and really take it in and try to either change that or just be aware of it. You know, criticism, I think, has a negative connotation where people are like, if someone's criticizing you, they're hurting your feelings or whatever. I don't necessarily see it that way. I think that, you know, once you get to a place where you, you know, sort of love yourself and know who you are as a person, anyone who's trying to criticize you is trying to help you, in my opinion. There are people who are just trying to hurt you, but I don't think that's criticism. I think that people who are, you know, just being mean are just being mean. But someone who's criticizing you is like, here are some things that I think that you should work on. And I'm all about that. I'm always trying to work on myself. And, you know, going back to the other question, I love when I am just stonewalled by something of being like, oh, I think this, and all of a sudden it's like, nope. And then it makes me feel something like crazy. And you're like, damn, I am so wrong about that. Like, those are good feelings because it hurts at that moment, but at least then you get to change. At that point, you get to become better. And like, what's more exciting than that? To actually be able to physically feel, you know, change. And like, I am better now because that thing happened. I only really also enjoy criticism from people that I actually know and respect. So like, if those people are saying things about me that I'm like, oh, like I really enjoy that. I actually go out of my way to be like, I need you to say something that would probably hurt my feelings. Like, I need you to drop this like empathy for me and just give it to me because like I really want to feel something, say something real to me. So I'll seek that out from people that I know and trust, who I feel like actually know me, but that's how I handle it. What lies do you most often tell yourself? I think the lie that I most often tell myself is probably the same one for most people, which is kind of like, I'm good. You know, like you're just sitting there like, this is fine. This is totally fine. But sometimes it's not like that. I mean, I'm getting better at not doing that. But for a long time, it's like, you know what? I'm just going to eat that one and not say shit and it'll be fine. You know what? This is going to go on for a while because I think for a long time, I felt like something will happen to me that I'm like, ugh, didn't love that. And I'll just be like, I'm not going to say anything. I'm not even going to react. I'm just going to eat that one and just keep it in here. And then we're going to move forward and everything's going to be fine. And eventually it just makes its way out, you know, and it's not like that I carry it for the rest of my life, but eventually it just goes away. I think that is bad. And I think that that's very bad, especially for men, because I think that men are often told like, you can't be vocal about certain things. And you can't complain, and complaining is like, don't be a bitch and just man up and whatever, which like, I agree to a certain extent. You gotta come fucking complain about everything. But I don't think that it's healthy. Your first reaction to getting something negative happening to you is to like, I'm just gonna eat that and suppress it. And eventually it'll make its way out. Because not everything makes its way out. Some things just stay with you and they mean more. And if your gut reaction to negative news or to somebody either disrespecting you or something negative is to people please and be like, I'm going to keep the peace. All right. I'll be the moderator here and just kind of deal with it, blah, blah, blah. And then you just kind of push that down without talking about it, without dealing with it. I think that's a bitch move, to be honest with you, just to turn the whole thing on its head. I don't think that like not complaining is manly. I think that being able to communicate without flipping out either way is more manly. Talk about your props is basically what I'm getting at, okay? Anyway, I think that's all we can do for today. I don't know how this is going to go or how long this video is going to be. Sorry if I ranted there. Actually, I think that's the whole point of this video. But that was my initial reaction to all of those questions. So hope you guys enjoyed. Don't forget to subscribe, and we'll see you next time.